today in World War II history. Hey everybody, Ray here from the History of World War II podcast. So today, let's see here, August 20th, 1938, the USS Enterprise crosses the equator just off Brazil. This in and of itself is not a big deal. Obviously, the Enterprise will have a very important role in the war, but the fact that it crossed the equator means that some of those sailors on the Enterprise crossed the equator for the first time. This is a big deal in the Navy. This is a big deal in all of the navies. And what it is if you're a sailor and you haven't crossed the equator before, you are a polywog. You need to become a shellback, which means it's someone who has crossed and who is worthy of crossing the equator. How do you do that? You have to be transformed into a shellback, much like in a fraternity where they haze you. And so they have a big elaborate ceremony. It used to be a lot more brutal than it is now. There's rules and regulations, but basically some of the more experienced sailors will dress up as King Neptune or Davy Jones, and they make you do silly, embarrassing things. And they put on, maybe you have to perform for them, whatever, and they do this thing and they get all dressed up and it's silly. And by the time it's over with, you're now a shellback. Every Friday night right down the road, I play pool with a guy named Jim, and he was in the Navy and he remembers his time. But he got him back because what he had to do is he had to dress up in silly clothes, and he had to like kneel down and praise them for all these things. Anyway, so they embarrass him in front of everybody, but they do it to everybody. I'm not sure what it's called in the Navy, but he was in charge of supplies on his ship, and so after it's all over with, then they have to go back to him and get supplies and various things in their mail and whatever. And he then showed them his power, which was every day and not just on this one ceremony. So he had his, but then he got his back on them, and it was kind of funny. And then of course, you forget it all and you become good friends. But it is a part of tradition. I think the Americans got it from the British, and obviously it passed on to other navies. And then there were joint exercises that the British and other Latin American navies did together just after World War II. But anyways, you go from a polywog to a shellback. You are now a true sailor of whatever navy you are with.